Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm going to be doing a news/updates video. This is where I have received a bunch of products, but unfortunately the weather is just too bad for me to go and check them out. So it's kind of a first look at a bunch of products. It's also an opportunity for you guys to tell me which product you are looking forward to me reviewing the most. So without further ado, let's check out the first one. This is the Runcam Split Mini V2. So when the Split Mini came out, people were excited about it because it has a 20 by 20 size. However, people were disappointed that it came with two boards and actually you still needed a lot of space in your stack for it. So the answer to that is the Split Mini V2, and you can see everything's there on a single board. Now I haven't tried it out yet, but it does look like we have got exactly the same sort of thing. So I can see a microphone on there. That was a downside of the double board, is the microphone quality wasn't very good, so I'll be interested to see what that is like. Let's take a quick look at the other stuff that we've got. Interestingly, at the making of this video, this guy is cheaper than the double board version, so maybe that's because, you know, there's less materials there, I don't know. But yeah, I think about £53 for this one, and I think it's £60 for the double. So what have we got here? It's telling me to download the user manual. That is fine. I really like this, what they have started including with these Runcams. This little full-size bracket here, so you can stick it on a 5-inch as well as the micro size. So this is 19mm across here, but this is your HS1177 sizing. We have got, let's take a look, loads of screws. We have got all silicone wiring here, so very good. This looks like we've got shielding as well as a SD card protection, so that's all cool. Yeah, I think this is the right way forward, Runcam. This is what we want. Alrighty, so the next product is from a company called Hobbycool. I have actually worked with this company before. They supplied the jumper transmitter. This is a model called the Hobbymate. It's called the VX220. Now, when I was a kid, the VX220 was a car based around the Lotus Elise made by Vauxhall. It's always a car that I wanted. But yeah, it comes in different forms, so you can get it as a kit, and I think it's about $179. Then you can get it as a bind and fly or a plug and fly. This is the bind and fly version. It's got RC in-power motors here, and they are a 2305. I think I tried the 2306 motors and I really liked them. I tend to find that the 23 stator size sort of limits the top speed, and I've only managed to get like a 2207 going over 100 mph. These 23 stator sizes, they are really silky smooth for freestyle, but for racing I think they are a little bit overkill. Anyways, seems like a nice copter. The only thing I've noticed is they have hooked the camera up directly to the VTX. So I've contacted them and they've said, yeah, this is a mistake. So nice camera, it's the Foxeer Arrow, and it's connected directly to the VTX. When the VTX does smart audio, we have got 32-bit ESCs, we've got an Airbot F4, but you know, this Foxeer Arrow camera has got an on-screen display, so it's hooked up to the VBAT, but we can't use any of those features because the on-screen display hasn't been hooked up to the flight controller. So I've got to do a video on how to switch that around if you already bought that guy. But yeah, the quality of this is just absolutely amazing. Other than that, we've got the little cable ties for the antennas there. Everything is just neat and tidy. But yeah, look out for my video on this guy. The next package has been sent in by a local chap. His YouTube is Werewolves FPV, and he has got his own Thingiverse, and what he does is he designs 3D printed parts and frames for brushless micros, and it's all for free. So, you know, if you are struggling for frames and things, and you know, you just want to 3D print stuff, then we've got all sorts here. So X82, we have got the X120 here, And yeah, so I'll link to that in the below. Absolutely loads of different frames. You know, I really wish I had the skills to design my own stuff for 3D printing, but I don't. So this guy has, and I'll link him in the below, and thank you for sending me those. So the next package is the Jumper T12 transmitter. You might be thinking, did you not review that already? And the answer is yes, but I believe they have decided to change some things. So I reviewed the T12, and at the making of that video it had OpenTX on there, and there was some sort of dispute, and they have had to create a separate fork called Jumper TX. And you know, in the middle of all that, I think they've decided to make some changes. So I think this has got full Hall effect gimbals on here now, and yeah, interesting, isn't it, all about OpenTX? Makes you wonder how open it is these days, doesn't it, when we're seeing different forks of it and things. But I believe it was something to do with they weren't happy about parts being copied from the FreeSky stuff or something like that, so they said, yep, fine, you can use the firmware, but you're gonna have to go off on a separate fork. I'll be checking that out. So next there's a package from FullSpeed. So FullSpeed are the company behind the Leader 120 and now the Leader 3, and they have sent me a bunch of stuff. So it looks like we have got an F4 tower that they are producing. So that's something I like about FullSpeed. You know, they have their own products, and this looks like it's the Leader 2.5. so I reviewed the Leader 3 and I liked it in general. One thing that I found though is that when I used a 4S battery on the 3-inch prop, the motors got hot and overheated and smoke came from them, and apparently they had got the kV wrong of the motors. So in here somewhere should be some new revised motors, so I'm going to have to go and fit that to my Leader 3. But yes, this is the Leader 2.5 inch. Looks like we have got some 4-blade propellers here, and I'm going to be checking this out. You just have to wait for the weather to get better. Okay, so this next one is Gearbest's answer to the Tero 99. I think this one's just a little bit dearer than the Tero 99, but it seems to be more of a sort of proper quadcopter build and a little bit better components. I'm seeing an LED board in there, for example, and a buzzer. And I think this one has got like smart audio and stuff. It's called the Q215, and I think it's about 88 GBP. I'm not sure what that is in dollars, but it's just a few more dollars over $100, I think. And yeah, we seem to have, I think, just a little bit better components. We have got, I think these are 2206 2600 kV motors. They look like the same motors that were on the X215. And oh, look at that, yeah, it looks like we have got a proper micro camera there as well. So it'd be interesting to compare this guy to the Tero. Alrighty, so I kind of feel late to the game with this one. This is the Kopis, how I like to say it, or Kopis, how I've heard everyone else saying it. This is the Kopis or Kopis 2 SE. I saw Bruce's review on this one, so yeah, I'll be interested to take a look at it. I've always liked the Holybro stuff. I think one of the main things that Bruce brought up about this was this material here between the arms. Now I've seen this before. What was it? The Fury B Nebula or something like that. Don't they call it like a carbon foam blend? And apparently it's supposed to be lighter and stronger than actual carbon all the way through. But yeah, I really like the Holybro stuff, and the one complaint I had with the original one was that the motors weren't beefy enough, I don't think it did the rest of the components justice. So they come out with this V2 here. We've got all sorts of things like props in there, and yeah, looking forward to checking this one out. Right, so lastly I've got a bag of stuff here from Furious FPVs, one of my favourite companies out there, and yeah, they sent this to me a while ago actually, but they were ahead of the game with all of this long range business, you know, whether it's Crossfire or the R9 system. They sort of anticipated that, actually, if we're actually going to do away with 2.4 as a control system, then that opens it up for video. So what I have got here, this is the True D 2.4 system. So it's the diversity system, but on 2.4. And yeah, so we've got all sorts of adapters in there. Now, they have also sent me their VTX somewhere, I think. So what we have got here is their Stealth long-range 2.4 gigahertz VTX. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do a build at some point, and I'm going to either stick Crossfire in there or the R9M, and then we can use 2.4 for the video. And the idea of that is 2.4 should penetrate objects better than the 5.8 gigahertz. The only issue that I see is, you know, the 2.4 band is very crowded with Wi-Fi and things like that, so it'd be interesting to try it out for sure. And this big box, I think, is also gonna sort of show a potential issue with 2.4 video. I mean, it's not going to do it justice on the video, but this is an antenna here, and it's quite a bit larger than, here we go, that's a 5.8 antenna there. So yeah, I guess that's the only issue I can see. You know, those are going to get absolutely battered in a crash, aren't they? But yeah, maybe, you know, it's the way things are going to go. It looks like we've got a patch in here as well. Look at that. Yeah, so I got one for each. I just need to get one for my copter now, don't I? So yeah, interesting avenues that we are going down in this hobby. And then lastly, I think this is their smart power case for the Fatsharks. So for people who really need a button on Fatsharks and been disappointed that it's not there, then we have this. I believe you can also set a timer, so even if you do leave them plugged in, then you know you can get an alarm going off, just like the Tyrannus does if you leave it on too long. And I think, yeah, I've got like a balance and charging cable there as well. Some great stuff coming out of Furious FPV. So there you go, that is all of the news for now. By the way, if you are wondering about these magazines that I put out on the news videos, this is Drone Zone that I subscribe to. And check this out, in this month's drone magazine. Who's this guy? So they did an article on Let's Drone Out, which is the podcast that I go on a Thursday night at 8 PM. So that is everything in the news for now. I'll put a link to all of the products in the description if you want to check out more of the specs and things like that. And if you can afford to do so, I'll also link to my Patreon. And thanks to everybody who has signed up to Patreon and is supporting me. It is getting really tricky to do this sort of thing, so thank you. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.